Hey guys, Kingpin Light here. We got Skull the Album documentary episode 2. I just reacted to episode 1 yesterday, so if you want, I'll link that and you can go watch that first. But we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. This is a 9-minute video, almost 10 minutes, 9 minutes 40 seconds, so a bit long. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Alright, there we go. Joe's song really goes off, doesn't it? So now I'm curious because I see that J plus O or Joe song played in a lot of these like documentaries or just like tour those tour videos that he does. So I'm curious, is that like the standout hit outside of maybe was Time to Rise even on the album? Now that I'm thinking about it, hold on. While I'm talking, I'm gonna look it up. But yeah, it was Jo one of the breakout hits, I guess, from the album. I'm assuming that it was. Just because of how much it's shown. So it looks like Time to Rise was just a single. That's right. So it was just a single that came out alongside the album, or maybe right after. I can't remember. Actually, I should probably take a look at that. Now I'm curious whether it was before or after the album. Therefore, leading because that song really blew up, right? So I'm curious if it led to the album being bigger, or if it came out after the album and retroactively got more fans. Anyway, let's keep going. This is episode 2, right? Didn't I just see this?
Wanda. Number one.
Or was this like is this just kind of like the intro to this series? Because I think that's how the other one started. Okay, yeah, that's like the intro. You gotta like what you're doing, right? That's pretty cool. So Songa has been there since the beginning. Actually, which makes sense now that I remember. But oh, you know who I haven't heard in a while? Was it Vondi? Was that his name? His artist name? Hold on, he was on Skull, right? Yeah, Vondi. What happened to him? I haven't heard any songs or news or anything about him in a while. But anyway, so I guess Songha was there since the beginning as well. That's pretty cool. And he helped show him around the city when he finally moved, I guess, from his hometown out there. So that's cool. It's definitely like one of those day ones for him. Was he already with Barmaid?
album ska ហ្នឹងតាំងគាត់អាចផលិតភ្លេងខ្លួនឯងមកប៉េះប៉ោះមកដល់ឥឡូវគឺពេលដែលចប់ទៅគឺ surprise មែនទេ
So he worked past like his inexperience with making music. I think that's pretty cool.
អត់រំពឹងទុកគុណភាពភ្លេងរបស់គាត់កម្រិតហ្នឹងហើយកម្រិតខ្ញុំចូលជាចំណាយរបស់ខ្ញុំមកដល់ឥឡូវប្រព័ន្ធហ្នឹងដែរខ្ញុំ surprise មែនតើហើយវាក៏ជា
So he surprised Songha, huh?
ដែរអញ្ចឹងណាសម្រាប់ Skull album ខ្ញុំមានអារម្មណ៍ថាវាជាចំណាយមួយដែរក្នុងជីវិតខ្ញុំផ្ទាល់ហើយដែរបើនិយាយទៅយើងដូចផ្សងព្រេងខ្ញុំមួយគាត់អញ្ចឹង
That's pretty cool. Would he say that Songha was his closest, I guess, musical ally? Not necessarily like song-wise, as in he's in all his songs, but was he his closest ally moving through the music industry is sort of my question. I'm curious if that's, I mean, it looks like he was there since day one, or at least very, very early on when he moved into the city. He was helping, showing him around, and of course helped him out with producing and getting a little bit of experience on that side of the industry. So I would take a gander and say that he's probably been there through most of it. Uh, but I'm curious if there's anybody else that's been there a little more or whatever, maybe a little bit earlier.
ខ្ញុំមានអារម្មណ៍ថាសប្បាយចិត្តដូចដែលគាត់សប្បាយចិត្តនឹងការងារខ្លួនឯងអញ្ចឹង
1 second. All right, I'm back. I have to go get something to drink for a second. But anyway, let's keep going.
តែចប់ហ្នឹងទៅយើងបានដើរលេងច្រើនហើយយើងថាអានេះជាការដែលយើងអត់បោះបង់ចោលមួយគាត់អញ្ចឹងវាខ្ញុំមកគិតថាជួយយើងមានថ្ងៃសប្បាយចិត្តចឹងដែរ
The legend, ain't it?
Featuring with Van Dal was a really
I hope I
special
get to
thing because it was
experience one of his concerts one day. Because I mean, I know for a fact, me and my girl at some point are going to be visiting Cambodia, but I doubt it's going to be like lined up perfectly with a tour date. So it would be super cool if it did, though, right? If there was a way for me to get an actual ticket, though. I assume that they sell out pretty quick, so I don't know if I'd even be able to get one. But if I did, that would just be the coolest thing.
kind of like the climax of our
Dash Game
relationship, where
Andrew
me as
Mama.
a creative director, I've been pushing him and
I'm
helping
guessing
him
that's the
with
brother of
all
Laura.
sorts of things, all the way back, starting from Joe.
Well,
when he
hold on,
signed
what
up
happened
with
to
Bottom
the lyrics here? Well, not lyrics, the captions. It says English.
But then this was a case of him pushing.
Maybe it's because he's already speaking English that they're showing the Khmer translation. I would love to be able to learn from listening, like be able to learn how to read Khmer from listening to someone speak English, like the translation. The problem is that the actual written language is so different from English, at least from kind of my perspective. Like one of the things that I've seen a lot in Asia in general, Japanese, Chinese, and Khmer as well, is the space and the layout of sentences where there's no spacing between the words. Or maybe there is, but I'm not able to see them clearly, right? Like I'm sure to a native reader, it's super obvious where the breaks are, what characters mean what, and that sort of thing. But in English, for me, I need sort of a buffer between each word to know what's being said, right? So it's kind of just a different way to see and read. That I think is a step further than just learning the characters as well. It's just being able to quickly recognize where the breaks are and that sort of thing. So I don't think it's basically what I'm saying is I don't think it's going to be easily learned from listening to English.
Because he knew IMC and Spit, and I have a long history. We always freestyle together. But he kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me and kind of like instilling me with his fire to actually jump onto the song. And he finally got me to get in there. And
yeah, Savanta sounds like a really motivational and like hardworking, like they said, super
and I think the part
obsessed with his craft, and that's important. You have to be obsessed with your
he
craft.
Wasn't just there doing it like a chore.
Whatever
he
that
was
craft
excited
is.
About my verse to help me with my Khmer, to help finish the song, and I just saw him inside his element, you know, as like this driving force behind amazing music.
Is that part of his iconic look, that hat? Because I think I've seen him wear that hat a couple of times, and I haven't seen him that often, so it must be common, right, for him. Sounds like he's just messing around playing instruments, figure out what he's gonna do. Jubilant. Okay, off of Polarics. Got it. I do actually remember him from Polarics.
Wow. Damn. This shit is gonna be big.
That's my man. I feel like that's the best way to describe music that just hits really hard. Like, damn, shit about to blow up, bro. Like, that's the way to do it. Passion, optimism, fun, collaboration. I didn't read the last one.
มันតែសេគឺទៅសេច្រើនហ្មងគឺទៅសេឲ្យសេទៀតដើម្បីយើងគាត់រក
I get that sense from everything that I've seen about Vonda in all of his interviews and just other people talking about him. He's definitely gets into like a work mode, right? And when he's in work mode, it's serious. Let's obsess over every little detail of a song and make sure it's perfect, or at least perfect to him. That's important, right? Because music is subjective, but what isn't subjective, I guess, is being able to capture what's in your mind down on paper and then eventually onto a track. And that's hitting the mark, right? Because there's no such thing as a perfect song. Maybe a perfect song to somebody, right? But there's no such thing as an overall perfect song because everybody's got their own likes, dislikes, you know what I mean? But what I think the mark that you can hit is being able to translate what's in your mind out into the world, right? And if other people don't like it, whatever. I mean, you take it as it comes, right? But you did it perfectly, at least from what you were trying to accomplish. If you were able to do it perfectly in that way, I think, I would imagine it makes it all worth it, right? Like, maybe not for beginner artists that like need a little bit of cash, you know what I mean? Just to be able to cash in like an audience or whatever. But I feel like as an artist, at the end of the day, your goal is just to be able to get that idea out into the world, regardless of what the feedback is, right? All you want to do is just make sure it gets as accurate as possible out into the world. So I think Vonda does a lot of, or from what it sounds like, he puts a lot of work and a lot of repetition and obsessing over every detail to try and get that perfect image from his mind out into the world. By the way, if you're liking this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We just hit 3K like a couple days ago. Super dope. Laura.
ខ្ញុំចង់និយាយថាខ្ញុំគិតចង់លើកវណ្ណដាជាឧទាហរណ៍មួយជា idol មួយសម្រាប់អ្នកសិល្បករផ្សេងៗ out there because គាត់ក៏មាន work ethic ពេលដែលយើងមានគោលបំណងគាត់ដាក់ 150% គាត់ចេះសហការហើយនឹងគោរពអ្នកជំនាញគាត់គោរពខ្ញុំគោរព team យើងបារមីសម្បីតែបុគ្គលិកតូចឬក៏ធំ everyone គាត់គោរពហើយចេះសហការមួយគាត់ just like gives respect back and forth and like អាហ្នឹងគឺល្អមែនតើគាត់អត់មាន ego អានេះគឺជាចំណុចមួយសំខាន់ដែលខ្ញុំចង់ផ្ញើសារទៅជាអ្នកសិល្បករថ្មីអ្នកណាដែលបានផ្ញើសារមកពួកយើងនិយាយថាបងណៃណាមួយ
Yeah, so he's kind of like a driving force for like the spirit of the group, you know what I mean? Like he's the inspiration. Everybody's like, damn, look how hard this guy's working. I want to do just as good, you know? That's what it sounds like.
That's what makes Vanda a freaking star.
ហើយគោលដៅធំគឺខ្ញុំចង់ឲ្យគោលដៅធំហ្មងគឺខ្ញុំចង់ឲ្យបរទេសស្គាល់ខ្មែរបានច្រើន
I think he's succeeding in
គាត់
that.
ដឹងថា
Even more so recently.
ខ្មែរយើងវាដល់កម្រិតណាអញ្ចឹងហើយគាត់យល់ថាខ្មែរយើងក៏អាចធ្វើបានមានអីគ្រប់យ៉ាងដូចតែគេដូចតែឯងដែរខ្មែរយើងដើរដល់នេះហើយខ្មែរយើងអត់អាចបកក្រោយបានទេយើងមានតែថ្ងៃដែលអភិវឌ្ឍទៅមុខ
Yeah, I think he's done a very good job of that, showing people outside of his own country what he's capable of and just what the music is capable of from Cambodia.
ទោះបីតែខ្ញុំគិតថាខ្ញុំម្នាក់ឯងខ្ញុំមិនអាចធ្វើអីបានច្រើនទេប៉ុន្តែចំណុចទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងវាចាក់ចូលនៅក្នុងខួរក្បាលខ្ញុំវាធ្វើឲ្យខ្ញុំគិតថាមិនច្រើនក៏វាមិនតិចដែរអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំគិតថាអាល់ប៊ុមហ្នឹងគោលបំណងធំគឺបរទេសស្គាល់ច្រើនខ្មែរយើងចេះស្ដាប់ចម្រៀងប្រភេទហ្នឹងយើងមានគេឈ្មោះតទៅមុខទៀតយើងធ្វើឲ្យវិស័យសិល្បៈហ្នឹងទៅមុខទៀតហើយខ្ញុំនឹងអាប់ដេតខ្លួនឯងតទៅមុខទៀតព្រោះមហិច្ឆតា
Yeah, and I think that's an important thing to note about Vonda is that he's not only pursuing a betterment of his craft and his career, right, moving forward his career, but he's also very heavily invested in moving forward the industry and the recognition of the country's music as a whole as well. So he's like almost pushing a movement forward while also wanting his own career, you know what I mean? Like taking care of his own career and his people and that sort of thing. But it's also about the grander picture is what he's focused on, right? He's trying to put Cambodia on the international map of music, so to speak. And so, you know, that's a perfect word to describe it. That's on the screen. Ambitious, right? He's very, he's chasing these big dreams on top of, I mean, it's already a big dream to want to be a star, but an even bigger dream of that, right? Like just to be able to show the rest of the world the music that's capable of coming out of Cambodia. So I think that's pretty cool. Damn it, they already had the Budweiser sponsor. They already had the Budweiser sponsor super early. Though. Interesting.
I wonder
how that happened. Budweiser invests in like music out of like internationally. I just didn't know that was like one of their things, I guess.
inspire ពួកគាត់ឲ្យយល់ពីអ្វីដែលហៅថាជីវិតអ្វីដែលថាជីវិតដែលធ្លាប់លំបាកអ្នកខ្លះគាត់អត់សូវលំបាកច្រើនហើយគាត់បានយល់ពីអត្ថន័យជីវិតអ្នកដែលធ្លាប់លំបាកគាត់ទៅជាមួយដែលថ្មីជាមនុស្សចេះគោរពចេះឲ្យនំតូចខ្ញុំសង្ឃឹមថាទាំងអស់គ្នានឹងបានវិភាគនៅបទដែលខ្ញុំធ្វើនឹងស្ដាប់វាចុះឡើងរកកន្លែងណាដែលខ្លឹមហើយកន្លែងណាដែលគិតថាអត់ប្រយោជន៍សូមទាំងអស់គ្នាបំភ្លេចវាចោលហើយកន្លែងណាដែលមានន័យខ្ញុំចង់ឲ្យទាំងអស់គ្នារក្សាវាទុកនៅក្នុង
It's an interesting way of putting it. It's like, you know, here's all of my thoughts, you know, find the meaningful parts and the rest you can ignore, whatever, right? That's an interesting way to put it. I mean, that's what we naturally do as music listeners anyway, right? There's songs that resonate with us and we play that over the years, you know, more than once. But, and then there's other songs that are like a vibe to sound really dope when you're driving or something like that. And then there's other songs that are forgettable and we just forget it. But I don't think I've ever heard it phrased that way, especially not from an artist, about how to sort of enjoy their music, you know what I mean? But it makes sense, and like I said, we already kind of naturally do that anyway. So it's yeah, that's interesting. I just basically said this, didn't I? Okay, I'm on the same wave. I get what he's saying. It looks like that's it right there. Yeah, interesting. And like I said, I just really enjoyed the documentaries of different artists, and especially Vonda's documentaries. They have a nice mix of, these earlier ones are a little bit different, but they usually have a very nice mix of like almost cinematography, like really dynamic cinematography mixed with a very informative sort of behind the scenes look at some of the songs and the processes that he uses while making the music. These were a little bit, these were slightly different, where it was almost interview style, right? It showed all the different members of Barame doing their take on Vonda and his music and sort of what happened during his, I guess more of like his work ethic and him as a person. So this was interesting as well. This one was really compact with details, I think. And episode 1, again, did have a lot of details, but episode 2 seemed almost super dense with behind the scenes and just sort of the mental state and what he was trying to accomplish with his album. So yeah, it's gonna, I think this, as well as some of the specific details that were in the episode 1, are gonna give me some very specific hooks to look into when reevaluating Skull One as a whole, which I plan on probably doing some videos on that. I'm also working on some videos on for my side channel, super different. If you're curious about it, you know, make sure to go check that out. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. I'm thinking of doing like some top 10 videos, you know, something to do for fun on the side as well. But I am planning on doing some other videos for this channel as well. Hopefully, I'm planning on getting like a new PC as well. So hopefully I can start editing videos a little bit quicker, because this is a fast PC, but it's like, it gets hung up a little bit sometimes. So I like avoid super heavy editing, you know, like a whole bunch of effects and going on. So I'll see what I can do, but hopefully I can put out some better content for you guys. Of course, keep with the reactions, and especially July 1st when the album comes out, react to all those songs. But hopefully I can put out some other cooler content alongside that as well. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit that like, comment what you thought about this video and maybe some other things for me to check out, and have a good day. I'll catch you on the next one.